Alright, welcome. My name is Kome and I'm going to take you through array operations in JavaScript. For us to achieve that, we are going to create a bank ticketing system where we make use of the shift and the push array methods. So let's get started. I have a folder here called master JavaScript and I'll check whether we have Node installed in this machine. So I'll say Node version and I'll see we have 18.17.0. Therefore, I'll be able to compile my JavaScript without any need of worrying. So I'll create the terminal and then I'll move the master JavaScript folder and create a new file which I will be calling ticket.js. So inside here, we'll be able to create our, so I'll call this maybe ticketing. Let me rename it a little bit. So ticketing.js. So inside here, I should be able to create an application or a program that will help me be able to help the customers as they come to the bank. They'll be able to come and queue their activities. For example, let's say they are coming to the bank to make a withdraw. They should be able then to have that activity queued. Others will be coming to maybe check their balance. They will be having that activity queued, and therefore these activities then will be processed and then dequeued from the queue. So let's get started by first of all creating a class that we'll be calling a ticket. And this is the template that will be holding all our objects that we're interested in. So from there, I will be having a constructor where I will be having to initialize some of the activities that I'm interested in to an empty array. So for example, if someone comes to the bank and says I want to do that activity, then it should be pushed this activities array. So I'll declare it here in the constructor. And then once an activity is processed, then it should also be able to be assigned to this processed variable there. So the next thing is that I'll be able to come here now and start enqueuing. And start enqueuing my activities. So to enqueue an activity, you must pass it first of all. So we'll pass in the activity there, and then we'll first of all come here, and once we have passed in the activity, then we should be able to add it to the activities array. So for us to do that, I'll then come and say this dot activities dot push, and then we'll push our activity to the activities array like that. So like this, having done this, then you'll have and then this to the queue. So the other thing will be for us to dequeue. So for us to dequeue, we'll come and check our activities there. So we'll come and check if activities are empty. So I'll check the length of the activities. If this happens to be 0, then I will just come here and return or exit this queue function. Otherwise, then I will come and process the queue. So I'll come and say this dot activities dot a shift to remove the first activity from the queue. And then I will come here and of course assign this to this dot processed for us to have now the processed activities. Remember, shift is an array operation, an array method like push. Shift removes the first element from the array and returns it. Push adds an element to the array. So having done that, then we'll be able to have and our dequeue. So we return our dequeue. We return our processed activity there. So we return that. So the other thing is that we need to check the size of our queue, for example, or maybe the remaining. You can have another function called remaining activities, which will really return the remaining activities dot length. So it will return the activities that we have, and then it will count the number of them and return them. So having done that, then we can test this out by coming here and creating a new activity, a new object for our ticket class. So I'll call this activity, and I will pass in I will say new ticket, create the new ticket object. So activity dot to access the queue. So dot enqueue, and then I'll pass in some of the activities that I'm interested in. So I'll say the first ID, maybe the first activity is a bank. Maybe the customer wants to check the bank balance. Of course, this will be the ID, maybe ID of 1, and then we'll be having a description that he wants to check maybe the bank balance. So I'll come here and add another activity. So that I think is okay there. So I'll come here and queue another activity. I'll queue 3 of them. So maybe activity number 2, activity number 3. So activity number 2 could be maybe they want to open an account, open bank account, and then this one is maybe access, and say access a loan. So we'll be having that. So for us to have this, then let's see whether we'll have enqueued successfully all the activities. So I'll come here and say console.log, then I'll say activity, and then I access the activities. So I'll come and do this and check and see what happens. So I'll say and come and say node compile ticket thing.js. So let's see, there's an error somewhere. Activity.enqueue, this should be activity, because it's the activity object that we have created here. So it should be activity.enqueue. So I'll go back again, and of course you can see the activities ID. I've abandoned all the 3 activities. So let's try to dequeue an activity. So I'll say activity.dequeue to see whether I will have removed an element from the array. So I'll come and say again console.activities and then log it again here and see what happens, whether I will be able to have activity.dequeue activities. So there is an error somewhere. Activity is not activity, sorry, activity. So I'll type it correctly, activity.dequeue. So I'll come here and see, of course, I have removed one of the activities there. So that means this is working very well. So since we are returning the processed activity, then you can also be able to say that an activity has been processed. So you can come here, instead of having activity.dequeue, you can say console.log, and then use the string literal, and then say activity equals activity, and then we'll come here and use our string literals here to put this there. And since the activity.dequeue is returning, the shift, the element that has been removed, then you can come here and access one of its keys. So for example, you can say .id, and then you can say processed, and then you can end our string literal there. Let's see whether that works. Activity 1 processed. That is very, because it's on the first, it arrived as the first one, and it is the first one to be processed. So that is well. So let's also log in the remaining activities. Console.log. You can say activity. You use the activity object and then access the remaining activities function. And then you'll have, of course, to use again our string literals there, where we come and say remaining activities. So I have that. remaining activities, and then we have the remaining activities, and then we can console.log all these activities, and then you can see activity.activities. So that should tell us the remaining activities. So here I will run that again. So we can say there is a problem somewhere. I didn't put this inside there. So this should be like this. Inside the string details, I'll clear again. Sorry, Control C, clear. And then I'll try to run the ticketing again. So remaining activities, there are two, and these are the remaining activities. So simply we are able to come here and queue these three activities, and then we called our dequeue function, which now process the first activity. Maybe the tail already process the first one, and then you are able to say activity 1 process, and these were the remaining activities after the processing, which are the remaining activities. So I hope this helped you so much. To get hooked up with the course Master JavaScript, which is coming out in October, please don't forget to share your email, fixer2023@gmail.com. So once you share your email there, we'll be able to help you out to get access to this Master JavaScript program that is coming out, and video tutorial that is coming out in October, which is really a robust tutorial to help you be able to master JavaScript and have everything that you require to make yourself a JavaScript expert. So I hope this helped you. If this helped you, don't forget to like and subscribe this channel, and also share. Follow me on Twitter at ComeKelvinK. Thank you so much.